Hello, disruptors, and welcome to another exciting, informative, transformational episode of Mindset Mastery Moments with yours truly, Dr. Alisa Whyte. We are thrilled to have our next guest who is going to talk to us about the habits for miracles. Yes, miracles are happening around us every day, but they don't just happen. We have to align our mindset and our entire being in the course and I would say at the frequency that is necessary to attract and bring and maintain the miracles that are in front and around us every day. Our guest today, he has over 25 years of a corporate career, and he's been responsible for establishing offshore centers of excellence while managing profitable business units and leading learning development for global organizations. He has implemented data-driven development programs for top global IT staffing companies, targeting over 2,500 associates and 500 global leaders. And he has designed learning interventions to improve performance, culture, and leadership across 50 global locations. Our guest today is the phenomenal person of Rahul Karan Sharma, and we can't wait to hear all about how we align ourselves with the mindset with habits for miracles. Mr. Rahul Sharma, and we get to call him Ambassador Sharma. Please come right through to the Mindset Mastery stage. We are excited to hear from you.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Alisa. Thank you for the great introduction. And it's my pleasure to be here and enlighten our learners on how we can create the mindset that will allow us to design our life our way.
Absolutely. And I just want to share a little bit more with our guests and our listeners and viewers that you have completed your master's in organization development at Bowling Green State University in Ohio, USA, also an MBA in human resource management at Pune University in India. And you are a certified speaker, certified coach, certified facilitator, certified coach as well, associate of talent development, coming through the ranks with Dr. Delator McNeil and the legendary Les Brown, who is very near and dear to us here as well at MM360. So we are excited to see that you have published your book, Habits for Miracles, and then the other one is Be Action Oriented. That is just so fascinating. I haven't read them yet, but I'm definitely going to get my copy. It's on my list on my Amazon list to read. I go through them month by month. You've been featured in top news as ABC News, CBS News, USA Wire, Edinburgh Post, New York Edge Times, Silicon Valley Times, and the list goes on. These are all stripes and badges of honor that you have worked so hard. But you know what? We like to hear it from you. Just tell us where you're from, who you are, and how did you get started on this journey of being such a global influential leader?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I come from a small town in India called Ujjain. And I have done my schooling from Daily College indoors, public school, boarding public school. That's where I learned the importance of being independent. I learned how it is important for you to speak and work with people from different culture, different ethnic background, and know the importance of doing things by yourself. That school also taught me sportsmanship. I was playing. So, Dr. Alisa, the school that I came from, we used to play all the sports throughout the season. Right. So in the winter season, we used to play soccer, and in the summer, we used to play cricket. So season-wise, we used to play the games, and that's really helped me in knowing all the games. I was not the best in every game. But towards the end of my schooling, I was selected for our cricket team, the school cricket team, and that's when I had to continue to play cricket throughout my school. But initially, I was playing every game. The only game which I have not played and I don't know how to play is a field hockey. Field hockey is one of the game. It's something never got into. But if it is a soccer, squash, ping pong, tennis, baseball, cricket, volleyball, played all the games. So that really helped me, made me a person who I am.
That would definitely bring those disciplines. I love to, when I'm talking to my students and participants in programs, is compare life's journey to that of an athlete. I myself, I lit up when you said that you played cricket as well, because that was one of the sports that I played in high school. In addition to track, shot put, javelin, high jump, long jump, I
Wow.
did it all myself. And it's one of the blessings, I believe, of being born and raised in Guyana, South America, as you were born and raised, I know, in India, another beloved place for myself. Um, and so those disciplines as a child and those habits, we're going to talk about habits for miracles, really do, it unleashes something within you to be able to do that. And I know here in the US too, like my niece and nephew, I was talking to my niece, she plays soccer in the fall, and then
Mhm.
some parts, early parts of spring, and then she has basketball and football, and she's into all of it. I said, which one are you going to choose for your main sport? She says,
Mhm.
I'm not sure yet, because
Mhm.
she's looking at full ride scholarships. And in this, that's the other thing. That's a miracle, from
Yeah.
developing that habit of training early, late, and throughout the day. So, how did that upbringing shape you as a person that's directly related to what you do now?
Yeah, so back then I was not knowing this is where I wanted to go. I was fortunate that my parents never forced me to choose a career. They left on me. Um,
Good.
my father has been part of the Indian government service, so he was always part of the government job.
Yeah.
He never told me that, hey, why don't you also join government job? Why don't you go for those competitive exams and clear and do this job? So that's something I was very fortunate.
Yeah.
And I would tell you that it is both my mother and father really put few things in me. I would not say they put, basically I observed. So my father, since he was in government job, he used to meet with people across the country.
Right.
And I felt that the way he used to deal with everyone, he was a giver. He always, used to give rather than looking for something in return. So I learned,
Mm.
I got that attitude of giving from him. Similarly, my mother, she was a housewife and she is a still housewife, and she's very much into social work. So she participates in various committees and meetings. And that's where I learned the way how to get things done, the art of getting things done.
Yeah.
The reason I say that art, because sometimes people will do the job for you because they may be
Yes.
your employee. But
Yes.
getting a job done from someone who has no relationship with you, who is not bounded to work for you, you get the job done. That's really a skill and art,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
So blessed to born in a family of these wonderful
Servant
parents.
leaders. I would
Yes,
say servant leaders.
servant leaders. Yes. So those things really came on to me through them. And
Yeah.
as I was growing up, I got fascinated into management area, leadership area. So I started reading a lot of books around it. And when I was doing my MBA, I had a choice to choose finance or marketing, but I chose human resources
Yeah.
because that was something was fascinating to me, to work with people,
Yes.
help people in pursuing their careers or unleash their potential.
Yes.
I was not knowing that that's where I will be going, Dr. Alyssa. But when I did my studies, I really got to know many things about potential of a human being. And the story behind me choosing HR, I did my internship, multiple internship. So as a part of my course, we are only required to do one internship. I
Right.
did three internship and into three different categories within HR,
Yeah.
the human resources, as well as the industrial relations,
Ah,
as well as a unit. It was a company called Tetra Pak. They had a unit, and the unique thing about this company, the all the employees in that company, they were white collar employees. So in India, it's
Okay.
a concept of white and blue collar. They
Right.
were white collar. They were all very educated, very learned, but they were working on machines. So I got a different perspective
For
uh,
those.
to
Wow,
deal
I
with them.
never thought about that. I didn't realize you can choose multiple internships. That's a pretty, and the one thing I always tell clients when I'm working with them in their career journey planning and, job searching and all that is one of the biggest ways to explore what your purpose is and what really makes you happy and what connects for you and what's fulfilling for you because it's bigger than that paycheck, right?
Mhm.
Is to explore it through, volunteering, internship, or even, if possible, on the job training. And I tell them, do go to the companies you're curious and
Mhm.
ask them, and don't require them to pay you. If you can sort that out, do it. And
Absolutely.
I've had students who listened to me at age 19 who has gotten into companies that did pay them and
Mhm.
allow them to come in as an intern and give them a flexible schedule so they can finish their degree. Again, it's the conversation, but hearing you do that, I'm like, never. Because when I was working on my bachelor's, I only was able to choose one, but I'm like, whoever said it was only one? It's probably because they call it the capstone in the bachelor's level. That's probably because that's what they prescribe, that you have to do one, but I didn't ask them if I can
Yeah.
do three.
Yeah, so you're right. So the legal requirement of the course is to do minimum one, but during the 2 year course, we had two winter breaks. So summer internship is what something you are required to do, and
Right.
I was able to get internship during the winter break, 1 month winter break. So that's how I was able to do three. So I utilized both the winter breaks for my
Ah,
internship and a 2 month summer internship. So that's how I got three internship.
that is what a growth mindset represents right
Yeah.
there, is someone who is proactively using their time to develop their knowledge, skills, and abilities. I always talk about, if you have to have a growth mindset, if you think that you just, it's just this, because if you would have just had one experience. The thing is having the three experience. Tell us, those individuals who are still trying to figure out the career, how did that benefit you?
So
Three.
one, it allowed me to really focus on the decision. It basically gave me more confidence in my decision that yes, the
Mm,
decision that I'm taking is the right one. That is number one.
yeah.
Number two, it was different environment. So when I went to so my third internship that I was talking about was a actually result of my summer internship. So I did my summer internship at the PepsiCo.
Mm,
So it was an office where I used to deal with salespeople, and because of the great work I did, then they gave me a call that, hey, we want someone like you to be in this plant. So the
mhm,
bottling plant of Pepsi. And that's how
mhm.
I got my third internship.
Yeah.
So if you do a good job, you will be called back. You will be getting full-time job or you will be getting referrals. So
Yes.
that's the second thing, how it helped me. My first internship, I did amazing job. The HR head referred me to Pepsi. So I had no relationship. I was not knowing many people. So he referred me to Pepsi. So that's how I got Pepsi in for
Right.
my summer internship. And since I did a good job in my summer internship, they referred me to their plant near Mumbai. So a couple of things that made me happy about it is number one, it made me more confident about my decision. Number two,
Mm,
it allowed me to do better networking. So I
yes.
was able to get to know more people. And then three different styles of working. So it was a three different environment of working. So the way a HR works in a plant in Tetra Pak, the way the HR works in Pepsi, it was similar, but it was still different. So the culture, I was able to get to know the culture.
Yes.
And finally, I was able to decide that, okay, do I want to work in a plant? Do I want to work in an office? Do I want
Right.
to work in an office and a plant kind of environment?
Right.
So so that's how it really helped me these many internships.
Oh my goodness. And I know this is so profound, and I'm actually going to extract this portion of our conversation just for my students on campus, because this is what I talk about, is giving yourself that exploration, and it builds that confidence, and you now know where you kind of want to go. And then here's the thing: let's say you did pick to go to the office, and you realize after 7 8 months it's not your exact spot, but you still like some of it, but you remember your experience in, and you now can say, well, what position can I pursue in my long-term career that will give me a hybrid of what I feel my quote unquote sweet spot is?
Hmm.
But you wouldn't have this information if you didn't explore it. So I tell people, even your first job or your earlier positions, when you go into a company, I tell them that those first almost 90 days, and it could even be for some organizations, it could be a year, it's a paid internship.
Hmm.
They're not going to offer you the money that you actually deserve or should, fair wage. They're going to give you a safe wage, not a fair wage, to try you out, to see if you are the person that they really want, and whether or not you're going to take it for granted along the way. And it should be you the same for you. You should be thinking, I am on a paid internship where I can learn and explore as many things as I can. And so I feel the fact that you took advantage of this in your college years is very smart. And I hope college students and anyone who knows someone, share this with them, please. And we're going to dive a little bit more, and you'll see how this all played out for Ambassador Sharma, that he was able to really build off of this type of this mindset and this momentum growth mindset in throughout all of his life. We've read some of his accomplishments. You obviously know he didn't just stumble on them. He created habits to
Yeah,
bring these miraculous opportunities to himself. So let's talk a little bit about what you do and why you do it right now in your life.
absolutely. So what I do is I help people to get their best out of themselves. So I help people to unleash their true potential. I,
Mm.
I believe that when we work, we don't give our 100%. And including me, I'm not talking about anyone else, including me.
Oh my
Whenever
God.
you give first attempt to anything, whether it is work, whether it is your workout, we don't give 100%. And the reason we don't give our 100% is at times we don't know what is our 100%.
Right.
So there has to be someone who can guide you and who can identify that, hey, you have only given 20% right now. You can
Yeah.
give 50, you can give 60.
Yeah.
So what I do is, this is what I do. I help people to unleash their true potential. And
Yes.
the reason why I do it, because based on my 25 years of corporate experience, I very well know that people don't give their 100%, because if they start giving their 100%, or if they start giving their best, so I don't want to use the percentage because that is always area of gray, but
Right.
giving
Yeah.
your best,
Well, yes.
giving the best that you are possible of.
Yes.
If you continue to do that, things will be very different.
Yes.
And when I started my first job, the only thing my father gave me as a blessing when I told him that, okay, I'm going, you have anything for me? He said that do this job for minimum 3 years.
Mm. Why
And
would he say that?
and I did not had the courage to question him. Uh,
Yeah.
so I just followed his guideline. But later, if I have to go back, and then I had a conversation with him as well.
Mm-hmm.
What he told me, his logic was that you are in a knowledge economy. It's the
Mm.
knowledge that will help you go further. So,
Ooh.
so if you keep on moving,
Hopping
you will
around.
not be able to attain the knowledge, because
Come on.
knowledge is not about just reading from books. Knowledge is about executing.
Come
So
on.
when you spend 3 years, you will be able to go through full spectrum
A
of,
full cycle. Yeah.
yes.
Very
And
wise.
so that was really very helpful for me, because this 3 years really helped me to know myself, know the organization, know the all the facet of human resources, because I was part of corporate HRD with
Mm-hmm.
this company. It was an
Mm-hmm.
information technology company called Datamatics, and I was working in their Mumbai office. Fortunate to have great people around me who really helped me in learning things, who also gave me the opportunity, because
Yeah.
at times you may not get opportunity because there are so many people to do the job,
Yes.
and you could just be the paper pusher.
Right.
So 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 you need to identify that you need to go to that employer where you will get the job to do, and
Yes.
not just sitting and not just doing the back end work, but the actual work.
Absolutely. I love what you said that your dad told you, and a lot of individuals, that's why I tell them, I say your job is not a marriage, but it should be a good match.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us feel like if I pick a career, I'm going to have to pick it forever. This is why those internships and volunteering, if possible,
Yeah.
is so important in a career choice, I believe, and allowing yourself that career exploration. But I always tell people it takes about 1 year before that first light bulb go off on a new position. And
Mm.
so when that happens, now you're able to facilitate some level of innovation transformation, not just for yourself, but for the organization in which you serve. That's year two.
Mhm.
Then at year three, I believe you're at expert level to a very high degree. Doesn't mean you know all, you be all, but you have mastery. And when we look at it, if we did 40 hours a week, right? And I'm going to pull up my calculator here, right? Because I don't want to mess up these numbers. I'm decent with it, but 40 hours a week by 52 is 280 hours by 3. That's 6,240 hours. We believe that there's 10,000 hours to master a skill.
Mm.
That's just a thing somebody made up. I can't quote them. You're 3/3 of the way at year 3 of working in an organization. So you, like I said, you are semi mastery of that organizational structure and what it does and how it does it. And you would have contributed to innovation and change and progress in those 3 years. Why are you guys not listening to what what Ambassador Sharma's dad said? Because no one tells us. And I love that you said I didn't question it. And that's part of, you know, being raised in the earlier years. I say 80s, anybody that was born 80s or younger, we have a different mindset from this current mindset. And so we just kind of went with it. Well, this generations that we have in the 90s and onward, they ask why. And half of them think they know better. But we're telling you the wisdom from our seniors is
Yeah.
the missing piece of our society today. Because when I have young students come to me and I love them, I love their excitement, I love their passion, and I have their resume, and they were like, Dr. White, I my resume is not that great. I'm like, why? Well, I was here for 6 months, here for 4 months. Da, 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 da. I'm like, great. That was when you didn't know what you wanted to be when you grow up, and you probably still don't know what you want to be when you grow up. But here we are planning. And with a plan, you will explore that and we'll work on it. But that means you might have to lose a few dollars for this next career because you haven't had any track record of consistency. But this
Mhm.
is you. I'm glad you know now and not at 50.
Yep.
You probably shouldn't be hopping around like that. And they didn't understand that that would affect them even. But this is knowledge that is so needed to be taught. And I remember getting hired at the last job I got hired for, and the vice president, thought I was so overqualified for the role. And I was very strategic with the role. I wanted that role for a very strategic reason in my own career growth. I needed it. And he said, well, I'm hoping, I want to offer you the job, but I don't know if you will stay around for long. Can you at least give us 2 years? And I'm like, 2 years? That's it? I'm like, that's easy. For me, it's usually either it's no less than 3 and it's about 5.
Mhm.
Because then when I walk away from the organization, if I need to, because sometimes there's no growth path for me, I would have mastered it. So I don't commit to a position unless I know I'm going to give it literally no less than 2 years. So
Mm.
what people would find is that I would go through what is called a lot of challenges in organizations, not necessarily me, but riding out the storm with an organization that's struggling either with maintaining staff or just getting their feet settled in the ground. Because I've done work with a lot of startup companies too. And a lot of people will come and go and think, how did you still stay there? But you have to understand, the more I'm able to help navigate those terrains and landmines, the more of my expertise is grown, more muscle, structure, organizational muscle. It's easy to walk into a well developed company, right? And say, oh, I worked here. But then it's like, okay, you're working with a machine that's already been built. But when I tell you, we went from having 5 staff to 500 staff, when I tell you that I trained and onboarded, you know, 500 people and helped develop and build some departments, who do you want? You want me. That is something that's so unique on a resume and in a job interview that you will only learn that if you allow yourself to do what your dad said. Sit tight. Give it 3 years.
Yep.
So tell us now, who do you work with and why do you work with them?
So my current workforce is towards the young leaders, young managers.
Uh-huh.
I being part of the learning and development, and I'm also party to it. What happens for us as an organization is we very rarely we provide learnings on leadership to people who are not a leader.
Come on.
And by the time that person becomes a leader, he has already learned things, good way, bad way.
Yes, by chance.
Yes. So my focus today is to interact with those individual contributors, those aspiring managers who really want to do wonders for themselves, for their organization, and
Mm-hmm.
help them navigate through the unique challenges that they may face or they may be facing today.
Yes.
The another aspect I have seen is we don't train to individual contributors on leadership. But guess what? They are dealing with their own leaders.
That's
So
right.
if they do not know what the leader is, why they do what they do,
They
they will
don't
not be able to understand.
Yes. And that will
So
be a lack of communication altogether.
mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. So my aim is to currently working with many corporates here in US as well as in India, in helping those young leaders become empowered leaders. Young managers become empowered leaders. So
Right.
that's the core area or niche that I am focusing with.
Yes.
The other aspect, I'm also working with student community who
Mm.
who are clueless about what career they want to go into,
Yeah.
what major they should go for.
Yes.
And as you were talking about earlier, Dr. Alisa, about every job has its own characteristics. Every
Yeah.
job has its own personality. The way we human being have our own personality, job is also having a personality.
Yeah.
And if you want magic to happen, then your personality has to match with the job's personality.
Yes, indeed.
That matches, that's where magic happens.
Yes.
I don't say that no job is made for, I mean, no one is made for a particular job. You can do any job. Okay. That
Right.
is not, I don't say anything like that. However, if you want to become successful in a job, then you
Uh-huh.
need to choose a job which is matching to your personality. That
Yes.
is very, very important.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Matt, and that's in MM36A, I talk about your purpose, your passion, and bringing that together into that career choice and that business development piece to allow yourself so that you're really connected. And I tell people, a lot of us only think of the things we know, but there's also positions that you create, and there are positions that you can create for yourself. And people would be surprised that employers are willing to explore positions with you in an interview. And I double dog dared some of my clients to do that. And the one young lady we spoke of earlier, she was studying something in the construction industry, which is like architecture and AutoCAD or whatever. And this company that she's now worked for, they didn't have. She was just interviewing for a like a because she wants to be in the field while she's in college. She needs to make money, and the smart decision I tell people is whatever you're interested in, that's where you should be working and exploring all the different career pathways that can possibly be. So she took my advice literally at 19. And when she went there, they thought she was coming to interview for a position where she will be doing like framing and things like that. And she listened to that and had the conversation. And she said, and exactly what I told her, she said, do you all have individuals that do like the surveying and the designing and blueprint? And of course they do. They're a construction company. And she said, well, do you ever consider hiring interns for that role to be like an understudy? Like I told her. And they said, no, we haven't done that yet, but that's a good idea. And the interviewer said, well, why did you ask? She said, well, this is what I'm studying at school, and I'm going to be continuing college. And I know you're offering a full time position, but I'm only looking for part time. She's telling them what she needs. And they said, you know what? I know exactly what we can do. Let me get back to you. I'm going to speak to our that person in the department and this person and da 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 da. And then you know what? He came back and said, we can do it, and we're going to offer you $20 an hour. And what's your schedule? So now she works 3 times a week, full time, understudy with someone. And she's also going to school full time. And she
Wow.
has money and she's learning. So imagine when she graduates with her bachelor's degree with about 3 years experience,
Mhm.
she is going to be so well off financially and more, as you said, more confident in what she chooses. Maybe she will
Mhm.
unchoose and decide to go a different route. But she has
Absolutely.
this time to explore it because she's given herself the opportunity. She has created a space for her, and that employer has not never thought of it. I'm pretty sure now they will have an think about, well, why don't we hire people as understudies? Because one thing they found in the construction industry is that there's more people exiting the construction industry than entering the construction industry. So they
Mhm.
literally need, for every type of position they have, they should probably have an understudy. But that light bulb went off because she took the moment she actually brought innovation to the company before she even started working for them.
Wow.
But that is the encouragement and the importance of what you and I do with individuals when we discuss career. It's really, I know people hear the sky is the limit. The sky wouldn't even exist if you think limitless.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think don't do internship from a perspective of just choosing that career, as you just mentioned, Dr. Alisa. You can also decide not to go with it.
That's right.
So that is number one. Number two also is it brings discipline in you. When
Hmm.
you get up at a specific time, you dress up well, you get the basic of corporate culture.
Yes.
Something that you will learn after your graduation, you are still learning at the time of the internship. So you are ahead of the curve, and
Yes.
and you are basically cutting the competition
Yes.
for yourself
That's
because you
right.
will be looked differently, you will be seen differently. So
Yes.
and you will always be taking that farther step because
Exactly.
you have spent time on yourself, you
Right.
have spent energy on yourself. You will not blame anyone else that, hey, why I'm not getting a job, or who will pay my loan. All those things will not come to your mind because you're already seeing things happening for you.
Yes. Oh, that is so well said and well put. It's so needed. You would be surprised. My mind is blown every time I realize how people have problems finding work. It just blows my mind, especially for those of us who live here in the United States, where there are actually so many job boards with endless positions. And
Mhm.
it's like, first of all, you don't even realize how job boards are made. They post it to eliminate so you can eliminate yourself.
Yep, yep.
So I also teach my clients and students how to read a job board. What is truly important because they write what is required. And
Mm,
always, most of the times, if you're looking at that position, you have everything that's required, but you're getting overwhelmed by all the other things, right? But guess what? You would have probably, if you did some volunteering, even I say maybe you can't get an internship, but you're volunteering. I tell young people while you're in high school, once you're like 17, 18, you think you want to work in the medical field, go ask them, can I come volunteer here on Saturdays for 3 hours? I will be the guy who helps clean up. I will be the guy who pushes a patient, around, from one exam room to the next or whatever. Can I come hang out? What do I need to do to hang out around with the doctor? Then you realize I do not want to be an emergency room doctor for nothing at all. And maybe they'll just let you stand around because you can't put your hand in medical, but you wouldn't know unless you ask.
mhm.
Maybe you want to work in being a mechanic. Go look for the neighborhood mechanic and say, hey, can I come hang out with you? I will help you do anything. And just clean up. Help him organize his things. But while you're there, you're observing all the conversations with him and the customer. And you can ask him, why do you use this instead of that? Why do you think, and those men and women will enjoy. Nothing brings a professional more joy than to impart the wisdom and knowledge they have attained into another person. Trust me. So it's very hard that you will ask someone to volunteer and they will say no. They might have a problem giving you an internship, depending on the size of their operations. But if you volunteer, I say give yourself 3 hours a week to just hop around. You want to be a musician? Go there. Everything you think of that you might be interested in, just go. Give yourself time. And with Rahul, he shared with us his internships was 1 month, but it was life changing. Perfect. I appreciate that. So now let's talk about habits for miracles. If you can teach us what your core principles are in this, and why do we need habits for miracles? And let's face it, what on earth is really a miracle, Ambassador Sharma? Because we all
So,
have our own definitions of miracles.
absolutely, absolutely. So, the way I define a miracle in my book is anything that you could not do before,
Right.
you're able to do now. It's
Mm,
itself a miracle.
yes.
I'm not defining it as a divine intervention,
Right.
um, but something that you could not do yesterday, you're able to do today is a miracle.
I love it.
The other thing I would say is about manifesting things for your own self. Because
Hmm.
if you want something so badly,
Hmm.
then you need to take action towards that thing that you needed badly.
Yes.
Oftentimes, what happens is we want things badly, but we don't work towards getting it. We just keep on thinking that I need it, I need it, I need it, and then things will not come to you on your platter. You have to work towards it. You
That.
have to put efforts. So these habits. So the miracles I have used as a word, as an acronym. It's
Mhm.
an eight-letter word. So there are eight habits that will allow you to design your life your way. But before you work on your habits, the one thing which is the important, in my opinion, is know your why.
Mhm.
Why you want that habit to be in your life.
Right.
Otherwise, people will come and go. They will tell you, do this, do that. Things will not improve
Right.
unless and until you know the why behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So your why has to be very, very strong. And then things will be very, very simple. Uh,
Yes.
So once you know your why, then focus on those habits which are important to you. So these eight habits are mind talk, ideation, reading, analyzation, calmness, listening, exercise, and silence. So
Wow.
these are eight habits. Not all eight habits will be applicable to everyone
Right.
because you may already be doing something.
Right.
You pick and choose. One of these things will help you in changing your life the way you want to have it.
Right. The way you want to
Stop
go. Mm.
procrastinating. Stop
Mm.
saying that he is responsible or she is responsible. No, no one else is responsible about you and your success. Only you.
That's
Only.
right. Wow. Those principles are so they're not something that I always say a lot of times when we think about change, I tell people, I said, it's not that you have to understand when it comes to mindset and habits, you already have habits.
Mhm.
You just aligned in the habits that are not where you want to go, as you said. So I'm saying I want to be fit. I want to be physically fit. And I always use this one because it's a global pursuit.
Mhm.
If I tell you you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, something like I want to be that, whatever, Dr. Elisa. But everybody on the planet Earth is always seeking a better health, however they might think it should come to them. So you have habits already, but it's not in alignment for better health if you are just eating high carbs, high fat, eating when you feel like, not moving around. Your habits are still there. What you have to do is choose different habits that will now align you to that thing you keep saying, I want better health, I want better fitness, I want better health, I want better fitness. The counter action. So you still have habits. Now you have to unlearn and reframe and then relearn and then keep doing consistently over time. So those are the new habits that take you to the goal. And this is what Rahul is telling you about. And that brings me to your other book, which is called
Be action oriented.
Be Action Oriented. So now you know, okay, I'm looking at habits in these 8 areas. It's nothing if I just read the book and understand and I like it and I am a fan of it. I have to be action oriented. So tell us what are the main principles in that one?
Sure. So in that book, I have written about my own process of how, when I was going in a down period in my corporate world, how I came back and came as a winner. What are the things I did? I'm also a human being, so I mean the fact that I've written a book, I'm a speaker, does not mean that I don't have emotions. I don't get through things that we all. So I
Yeah.
was also feeling pity, self pity more that
Yeah.
nothing is happening to me. Everything is happening against me. So those
Mm-hmm.
negative thoughts were coming around.
Yeah.
And then I just thought that, hey, I should be taking the accountability of whatever is happening to me. I
Yes.
can't blame it on others. It's very easy for me to blame it on others.
Exactly.
So there's a 5 keys that I did, and I have mentioned in my book that will focus you to take consistent action. And one of the thing is know yourself.
Uh-huh.
So the example you were talking about weight loss or being healthy. Now you talk to 10 people, 10 people will give you 10 different advice.
Yes.
But what will work for you, only you know.
Only you know.
So,
Right.
so you need to know that. So you need to know yourself, your
Yes.
strengths, your areas of improvement. What are your likes? What you do not like. So it's very important. Number two is for you to be surrounded with people who are giving you positivity. Many a times we are surrounded with people who are trying to pull us back, not
Yeah.
in a real sense, maybe
Just
in
because of they're on a different path from you.
yes, and they have not seen it. So if they have not seen it, they will not buy in what you want to do, right?
Exactly.
So you need to be surround yourself with people who are giving you positivity. Choose your inner circle well. Who are the people you are spending time with? Who are the people you are talking on the phone? Your family members. So that
Yes.
is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Other aspect is about your mindset. So your mindset will be ready when your why will be clear. So you need to know
Ooh,
your why,
love
because
that.
if you don't know your why, your mindset will not be there to do things. So
Right.
in order for you to inculcate any habit, you have to have a right mindset. And
Yes.
for that right mindset, you need to be clear with your why.
Exactly.
If you don't know your why, then you will not be in a right frame of mind. You want to do it, but you things will come to you that will stop you.
Yes.
When you want to lose weight, there will be feast will be there. Your friend will come. Oh man, it is just one day. You will not get fatter in one day. It's okay. So we need to control our temptations at that time. It is not about one day. It
It's
is,
one
and
day.
in today's philosophy I'm hearing is YOLO, you live only once. So it's okay. Let's eat it. Let's drink. But
Live only once for all this time.
absolutely,
Even if it's
absolutely.
once, it's all this time, and you get to decide the quality of that YOLO.
Correct, correct, correct. So you need to know that why part. Once you know that why, things will be amazing.
Exactly. It's so
Another
important. Yeah.
aspect for taking consistent action is celebrate your wins. And when I say celebrate your wins, celebrate your small win.
Mm,
Sometimes, and I'm also party to it, I don't used to enjoy till I'm done with the job. But
yeah.
that job has 10 steps.
Come
So
on.
as soon as
10
I'm
steps and it
taking
could be 10 years.
Yeah, could be, yes. So as soon as I am taking one step, I'm completing one step, I should celebrate. I should, and celebration is not about eating food, eating, drinking, and
Oh my
having
goodness.
fun. Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
talking about that celebration.
That
Talking about
feeling.
celebration for your own self. You should be
Yeah.
giving pat on the back. You should be little loose. Let's say if you are going through a stringent regime or a stringent discipline, you can
Yes.
let loose for that one day just for a celebration.
That's right.
And celebration also can be done in a manner that will be healthy for you.
That's
Okay.
right.
So it's
So
don't think that celebration always need to be unhealthy. No.
exactly, or has to be something. It's like me. On my weight loss journey recently in the last year. It's funny. I get to buy when every 10 pounds I get to buy a new exercise tool of some sort, where it could be taking my weights higher, and I
Mm.
might spend $50, $60 on another set of weights that's now 30-pound weights. It's going to help me to keep moving forward, but I also rewarded myself. And
Mhm.
I'm also going to challenge myself, because I was lifting 220s. Now I'm doing 230s, and it's in my home. And, that's the reward. Or maybe I said, okay, now I'm going to get a new pair of sneakers for my walks. And that is how I measure it. Every 10 pounds, we have that's my celebratory thing. And, some people say, well, why don't you post on social media? I'm like, that is not anybody's business.
Mhm.
Because then I will be, when I don't, when I don't get the response from the people in the world that I lost, yay, I lost 10 pounds and no one cares, then what am I to do? Feel like I didn't win? No, the intrinsic motivation and the intrinsic celebration precedes any other motivation and
Absolutely.
celebration. So I
Absolutely.
love that you said that. And every so often I talk to my students about, we do this 9-week program for the construction industry. And um, some of them are like, oh, I don't need to graduate. I'm saying, we put this on the schedule for your last day of class to have a graduation where you do wear a cap and a gown, because many of them didn't graduate high school.
Mm.
And my goodness, you see these grown women weeping with that, and they'd step out in their gown. And I said, this is the habit. This is a new breakout we're putting in your brain for you to understand that you must celebrate the small wins, because you didn't finish high school, but you just finished 9 weeks of intense training in the construction industry. That
Mm.
is remarkable. And that is what you are to do. So that celebration, humans don't realize. And really, I mean, yes, we're celebrating them as a team, but do you feel proud and do you feel accomplished? I want you to connect with the yes or no that you give yourself, because I
Mm.
want you to take that no mentally and emotionally and turn it into a yes. And here are several reasons why. And then people are like, yeah, I literally did that. Yeah, you had people try to tell you to stop. You had transportation issues. You had all these different things that came up. You sitting in class as an adult for 8 hours a day with no pay. It's hard. You did that. And so it's sometimes we look for the big things, but these little celebratory moments is invigorating, motivating, and it's so transformation for how we think and feel about ourselves, that's when I say we become a monster. A monster
Mhm.
that's unstoppable, a motivated monster that's going to take everything life throws at you and conquer. So I love this. I let you finish. I was just so so excited about the celebration. I don't think we talk enough about celebrating the small wins.
Mhm. Yes, yes. I don't think. And then when we talk about celebration, Dr. White, is also we take it very different way.
Right.
So celebration is more. You need to be happy internally,
Yes.
because if you're happy internally, then you will be able to keep happy the environment around you.
Yes.
Because if inside you're not happy, then you will be, you cannot fake happiness. Okay. The fake happiness will not last long. So it has to be the way to, and one easy way for you to know if you're happy is think about the last time when you laugh out loud.
Right.
Then every entire nook and corner of your house was just getting matched with your vibe because you laughed it so loudly.
Yes, that is so true. Because when you'll know when you're faking it, and I know yesterday we had a guest on, and he was saying his grandmother said to him, "You're not fooling me, you know." And I honestly believe you're not even fooling yourself.
Mhm.
And I said, that's a good way because many times we haven't even really trick ourselves into believing the lies we tell ourselves, much less trying to convince others, right? So
Yep.
good. So, so good. I love that. Be action oriented. And so
Yep.
we're going to flip into our second to last segment, which is flip the script. And so our question for you is, what was one time in your life where you literally had to do a complete change in the way you thought about something to achieve the results you wanted? What was it? Why did you do it? And how did it change everything?
Yeah. So it happened in 2012 when
Mhm.
I went for my one of the coaching certifications, and I learned that for you to coach, you don't need to have all the answers.
Mm.
You just have to ask right questions, and you need to help your other people to get the answers right.
Oh my goodness.
And that also changed the way I was doing things for my own self. I was doing
Wow.
things with my coaches because I was thinking that, hey, I'm a coach, people are paying me, or people are wanting to get answers from me. I need
Yeah.
to have the answers.
Yes.
That was a very big change that came in my life, and I would say it was a good change. Then it released a lot of pressure from me. Otherwise,
Uh-huh.
I was under a lot of pressure that, okay, I have to have answer. Okay, I have to give that answer. And many a times I have seen that when you give an answer to someone, very rarely people will try to implement it
Come on.
because it is not coming from themselves.
Yes.
So you must have heard this phrase that people resist change.
Yes.
My experience is people don't resist change. People resist change when they are told to change.
Exactly. People
So
change when they want to change.
yes, so
And I think it was Dr. Les Brown that says a man convinced against his will is of the same mindset still.
Mhm.
So we don't want to do that. It doesn't help
Yep,
anyone.
yep. So that was a big change that happened in me, and then for good, and it really helped me in pursuing my own career. And that's when I started moving from being a perfectionist to being a normal.
To
So
be a
otherwise, it was really challenging.
facilitator.
Mhm.
Yes. I love it. I tell people, they look at you and they say, okay, professor, all this wonderful stuff. I said, you know what my favorite thing is? I'm a facilitator. As a coach facilitator, as a speaker facilitator, I am just here to be a bridge that you can walk over to get to your next level. It doesn't matter I found that it doesn't matter what capacity I was serving in, even as a sister, as a daughter, as a mother, all these facilitations, it's just facilitating. And so that, like you said, it takes the pressure off. And as a coach, you could feel so attached to the outcome for your clients and feel like you do have to help them come up with an answer. And I have this thing now. I said, great coaches ask great questions. They're not leading. They're just so filled with curiosity and bewilderment that the coachee If surrendered to that process, they will uncover their greatest potential and the best answer for themselves. And now they have a teammate that is in the ring with them to see them play it out. And that's my job as a coach. So I can coach you in Walmart, I can coach you on Zoom, I can coach you, you choose. It's always it's that's because I'm facilitating. And like you said, so well said, I learned so much about myself in these relationships. They don't understand. It's like being a coach is a superpower of growth because then you sit and you see things in your coaching clients and you're like, well, they just had this breakthrough. That was what I needed too. Let me go implement my own way of what this looks like. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. The other question we have for you, what does success mean to you?
Success for me is satisfaction.
Mm,
Success for me is being happy and being showing gratitude for what I have.
mm,
That is what success to me. I don't justify my success through materialistic thing.
right.
I justify success based on when I know that I have given my best, when I
Mhm.
know I have gone above and beyond. That is what success for me.
Yeah.
I don't compare myself with anyone else. I compare myself to me. I
Yes, the
compare
version.
myself to my
Yeah.
previous self. That
Right.
is what I do. And at times when we compare ourselves to others, probably we may get agitated. We may think that, okay, things are working good for him or her. But we very rarely we try to look into our own self. We don't do that introspection.
Yes.
What all has gone through for that person to see that success or to be happy or to do what they are doing today. We
Exactly.
always see the outcome. We don't see the work that has gone for
Hmm.
that outcome.
Right. Exactly. And
So
that's
my
the
request would be is work towards it. Work towards that outcome. Don't just look at the outcome. Outcome is not in your hand. What is in your hand is doing the job, doing the work. So
mm, so much wisdom in that. And the last question I have for you, what is the biggest thing that's coming up for you? And what kind of mindset do you think it's required to achieve that?
I would say is the giving mindset or a mindset of a giver is an
Mm,
absolute must in
mm,
us in this competitive world. We everyone is against that race.
just trying to
Everyone
take.
wants to run fast, fast,
Yeah.
fast, and they forget that there is the journey that we are in. We are our own journey. We are
Yes.
not in anyone else's
But
journey.
there's no way there's a race. You're making this up.
Correct, correct, correct. So have that gratitude mindset. Be grateful to Almighty for what they have given to you. Be
Yes.
grateful to your family members, what they have done for you or what they give to you.
Yes.
Instead of thinking of, I don't have this, I want this, I want that. Don't forget about the needs and want. Focus on what you have. When
Exactly.
you focus on what you have, you will be immense happy and
Yes.
showing the satisfaction.
Absolutely. Oh, that's so profound. I can't wait for everyone to hear this. So before we get into connecting with you, we do mindset bites to go where you get three I mean sorry, 60 to 90 seconds of just you speaking into the cameras. If this were your last time to give a message to the world, what would you say to them? I step away and it's all you. So here we go, Ambassador Sharma.
Awesome. So my request would be to be bold. You have greatness in you. You have amazing life. You are amazing individual. Be confident in what you are doing. And bold is an acronym that I have created. B is be confident. O is optimistic. Be optimistic. Be thinkable. Have that curious mindset. L in bold is love yourself. No one else will love you as much as you can. And when you love yourself, you will see that love is coming to you. And D in bold is dream big. Unless and until you dream, you will not be able to see your true potential. So be bold and be curious. The world is for you. You can do wonders and you have that power to unleash your true potential. God bless you.
Wow, that is so powerful takeaway. This has just been a really, really great conversation. And of course, we don't want you to leave. I know Ambassador Sharma has some things for you. He has a freebie. So share with us, what did you have for us to explore with you, and how do we connect with you and your work and your books?
Sure. So, my book, Be Action Oriented, is something our listeners can get for no cost. They can log into my website, my book website, Habits for Miracles website,
Mhm.
and /jumpstart. So,
Yes.
probably we will be sharing the links.
Yes, it will
On the
be
show.
everywhere where you're watching and looking at this.
You can also get my book through my LinkedIn profile. You can get it, my Insta, you can get it. And for especially for people who are listening to Dr. White's show, I would be more than happy to offer one-on-one coaching with no extra cost to you, to 5 people, first 5 individuals who will reach out to me. I will
Wow.
be giving them a 30-minute coaching session, one-on-one. Uh,
Wow.
just connect with me over email or through my social media, give
Yes.
reference of this episode, and I will be more than happy to assist you in your pursuing your dreams, making it come true for yourself.
Perfect. So you're saying you're giving the five first people who reach out to you directly, and they
Mhm.
mentioned that they heard you on Mindset Mastery Moments, they will get 30 minutes of coaching for free.
Correct.
That is just so a gift. I'm
Mhm.
excited about that. Oh, I can't wait. So, yes, and everything, all his contact information, a little bit more details too, we will add to the description and everything. Okay, Ambassador Rahul Sharma, we have had such a grand time with you. And we know we talked about this before, since you are one of our honorary global impact invoice from Mindset Mastery 360, you will be doing also a masterclass in the future here in the next few months, pertaining on your schedule. And it will be a global masterclass where anyone would be invited to attend that masterclass and get some of your teachings for an hour, and then pick your brain as a expert thought leader. And we're looking forward to facilitating that with you. So stay in touch, stay connected with him, follow in on his platforms, and listen, take advantage. Someone say free coaching. I sign up, especially when I know their message and their work resonates with me. And when it comes to leadership and career coaching, I am telling you, you can never get enough. I personally tap into various individuals around the globe to get my fix of what I need to help me grow, ultimately pushing my growth mindset. Habits for Miracles is absolutely available and being action oriented too. We will put the links for where you can just click and go purchase it. These books I am going to add to my toolbox first, Habits for Miracle, and then Action Oriented, because I always am looking to improve my habits. We say here on the podcast, your mindset is the key for your success. Set your mind in the direction you want it to go. Think, speak, do, become. And the doing is where the habits lie. Very important proponent of mindset mastery. So, Dr. Sharma again. Ambassador Sharma, we have been honored to have you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of our global movement as well. And we just are so grateful for today's episode.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Dr. White. Appreciate it.
Okay, disruptors, thank you again. Remember that your mindset is absolutely the key for your success. Develop habits. Today we talked about habits for miracles. Remember that your mindset is everything that you need, and you have to set it in the direction you want to go. And it's think, speak, do, become. Until next episode, we will see you on the inside. Remember to go to mindsetmasterymoments.com. Connect with the global movement at mindsetmastery360.org. Either way, you click mindsetmasterymoments.com, you'll have the opportunity to join us at the movement and get more profound teaching, connection, and learning from individuals.
Are you ready to unlock your full potential, shatter limitations, and ignite success in your life, career, business, and relationships? Introducing Mindset Mastery Moments, the transformative podcast hosted by the #1 mindset disruptor, Dr. Alisa Whyte. It's not just a podcast, it's a movement dedicated to rewiring your mindset for limitless possibilities. Subscribe now and disrupt the status quo with Mindset Mastery Moments. Your daily dose of inspiration and empowerment is just a click away. Embrace the extraordinary and welcome to the Mindset Revolution.